All right, so let's take it from the beginning. Just tell us how you got. Like, are you the first one racing in your family? Was your dad racing? To break it down, how it all started.
Yeah. So Dad raced. He drag raced back in the day at Connecticut Dragway when that was open, and other places. And he was racing the laydown karts, the enduro karts with the WKA. So he was running at Daytona and Loudon and those tracks. So
This is drag?
no, he was drag racing. He had a drag car.
Yep.
He had a big black '68 Camaro that he built. That I have some pictures of it. That thing was
Wow.
sick. I wasn't alive, but you know.
Yeah.
And then also before I was alive, he was racing road course karts like the laydown karts with the WKA, and so that was really cool too. I think
the laydown karts is what the Christopher brothers ran at like Daytona.
Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
right.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah, because
So the sensation of speed there must have been unbelievable.
Yeah, I can't imagine it.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
they're
that's what-
probably doing $1.25, like an inch off the ground.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
well,
Right.
that's when he said Mike Senior got into his first SK. He's like, this is nothing compared to the kart,
Yeah.
Right.
right? Because it was so the adrenaline rush. I'm sure it'd make you sick, and you're getting something like an SK. It's slow motion to you,
Oh, I couldn't imagine. Yeah.
right? So how did it get started? Did your father purchase a car for you, or
No, so it was actually my cousin's bachelor party for his wedding. They everybody went to on-track karting in Brookfield,
oh yeah?
and that was the first time I've ever raced anything.
And how old were you at about this age?
I believe I was 7 or 8,
Oh wow, yeah, yep.
and I went there and I loved it. And when we left there, I think it was probably a few days later, I was begging my dad to go back, to take me back there.
Yeah.
So we ended up going back there a bunch of times and whatnot.
And your
you know,
dad probably
throughout-
enjoyed being in the karts too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was feeling like he was back in his glory days.
Yeah, he would he would go out there with me.
Hell yeah, he would.
And eventually I started running, like, they have the league races and stuff
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So when I was little, they had the junior leagues and all
Oh,
stuff
so you
like
got
that.
deep almost right away.
Yeah, he put me in those things and entered me in the leagues, and I would run those, and they were usually on Sundays and whatnot, and did pretty good. And
So
moved
he
up
was
to the-
he was itching
Yeah.
to put you in something.
Yeah, I don't know if they were, holding back at first and waited until I kind of found it on my own, and
Yeah,
then
right.
he just they went all in and started pushing me to do it and whatnot, and then I was doing the adult leagues, and then they had a like a charity event that ABC Supply puts on. I don't think they still do it anymore, but when the Brookfield location was open, they did it. And my dad, owning a company, he got invited, and he brought me and a bunch of other, like construction companies and whatnot showed up to do
Right.
it, and they'd bring a few people, and me and Dad were super fast all day, and they actually, some of the other guys that were there were so angry about it because we were so much faster than the rest
Right.
of them. They made us put weight on the cart, so we had to
Come
put
on.
like 50 pounds on the cart or something, right?
Right. Oh
And-
yeah, don't do that again.
I couldn't even keep up. I ended
Right.
up just pulling it in like as soon as the race started, and was like, "Yeah, I'm not." doing
Yeah. Oh
this."
yeah.
So we were watching, and which was awesome because I still love watching, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know where I was going with that, but moral of the story is the Bassetts were there with Lasco, and they were watching me and whatnot. And his uncle Phil, at the end of the night, he recommended that me and my dad come up to watch the Wild Thing Karts on Monday, like just to come up and watch, and we did. And we went
So
up there
you
a few
hold on.
times.
So you guys didn't know anything about the Wild Thing carts until you met the Bassetts.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about them.
Okay.
And, so we went up there a couple times and watched and hung out with those guys and got to know them, and ended up, Georgie's one of my best friends, and
Yeah.
the following year we got Junior Outlaw and ran up there and got Rookie of the Year, and other than that, I didn't really do too much. I never won or anything like that.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I did that for 2 years in the Junior Outlaws. I wanted to move up to Senior Outlaws, but I wasn't old enough, so they wouldn't let me move up. Cause
What age bracket is this now? Like, because I don't know anything about those either.
So I would have been 12 when I
12.
started that, yeah. And you had to be 14 to move up to Senior Outlaws, which had a little bit more
So
power.
you pretty much started in Wild Things at about 10, roughly 9, 10 years old, you'd say?
No, I think it was 12.
Oh, you got started at 12.
Yeah, I think it was
so
12.
you were a late starter.
Yeah.
I mean, considering how kids are starting today, and some of the kids your age, they've all started at like 5, 6.
Yeah. No, it was definitely 12 because we did 2 years of that and then moved up to the street stock.
Right.
Kind of at the same time Bassett did. They moved up at the same time, and Dad was like, "Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, right.
Let's make the jump."
So did you guys buy a used car, somebody's car that was good, or what was the process there for you and Dad? Like, we're going to go street stock racing. What do we get? Did Georgie kind of help you guys through that process, or were you on your own island?
No, yeah, they helped us as much as I can remember. They helped us through that process, and it's kind of a whole thing. But we ended up with Tyler Trott's 11, the red car, and we stripped that thing down and got it ready to go for the next year. We got it pretty late. I think we got it I feel like we got it in like February or something.
Yeah.
Like it was late.
So you had to hustle.
Yeah, so we were hustling to get it ready for April, but we did get it ready. And then, Dad never ran, cars on oval. He ran, cars in a straight line and go-karts on a road course. So
Right.
He didn't have a lot of experience when it came to oval track racing, and I obviously didn't know anything.
So it was just you two.
Yeah, it was just the two of us to start.
Yeah.
So, Georgie and those guys, they'd help us when they can, giving us pointers here and there, because obviously we're not asking them, like, give me everything you got, because...
Yeah, right.
But they helped us a lot in the beginning and got us to... I mean, the 4th race out, I won my first race.
4th race in a streeter?
Yeah, 4th race in a streeter.
Damn!
First race.
Oh, that's impressive.
And Johnny Walker finished right behind us.
Yeah, that's when Johnny Walker was kicking butt.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
he was winning almost every week.
Yep.
Wow. So was there a rule back then on how many times you could win? I
Yeah.
wonder. There was.
Well, okay, so I'm not sure if there was a limit of how many times you could win, but I remember that after the first win, you have to add 100 pounds to the car.
Right.
I don't remember if you had to add more after the second win, because I never got that far.
Right. Can you imagine if it happened? Can you imagine if it happened this year? Your car would be weighing like 7,000 pounds.
Yeah, no
Right.
kidding.
Right.
100 pounds every time? Could you imagine that?
Dude, no.
So that's interesting. Now, you said that was your 4th race you won?
Yeah.
Now that was only at Stafford, right?
Yeah.
You guys didn't finish the year out there, or did you finish the year before you wrecked? Because you ran a couple of years before you got the SK light. Is that right?
Yeah, so we started in 2017.
All right. So you finished out the year. How'd you do it overall in points that year?
I finished 4th in points.
Oh, that's not bad at all either.
Yeah.
And then the next year, you guys start right back up. You redo the car,
Yep.
and you're back in it again.
Yep. Back in it again. And finished 4th in points the second year, too.
Any wins?
1 win.
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
And then the 3rd year, finished 4th in points again.
And the whole time,
I don't remember.
it's just been you and your father at it.
Yeah, when did you hook up with Ernie and Junior?
I want to say it was 2019.
How did you recruit those guys? Because Junior and Ernie, I just know this from racing against them. They were tough back then with me and my brother. And
Well, it all stems from the ladies' race. She came up to me and asked if she could drive our car in the ladies' race. And prior, I didn't know her other than interviews at Stafford and stuff like that. And I looked at that and I was like, yeah, why not? What's the worst that could happen? Sure.
right.
I didn't think twice. I'm like, yeah, cool, sure. And so it was weeks later. The race came around and she came and Ernie, her dad, and then Junior came as well. And they come and like right off the rip, we introduced each other, everything. And right off the rip, Ernie tells us a bunch of things to change on the car for Nicole to go out. And Junior's telling me everything that's wrong with the car.
Right.
And me and Dad are like we're like,
Who the hell?
Yeah, who are these guys?
Right.
You know? And we did what they said as far as the adjustments and whatnot. I didn't ask questions. We just did it.
Right.
And Nicole goes out there and wins the ladies race and the second time around. But
Yeah, she just texted me back. She said second in 2018, and she won it in 2019.
then this would be 2018 where this story is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
she finishes second in that ladies race, and then
Yep.
over the winter we just kind
Late in the
of
year,
That was
right?
late.
that was at the end of the year.
Yeah, fall final. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
Fall
Saturday
final.
of that. Yep.
Yep. So she finishes second in the ladies race, and then me and Dad just go off in the off season and start doing our tear it down and start putting it back together, fix anything that's messed up, all that good stuff. And then I think I waited really late in the off season because I was talking to Nicole, and I remember we had like an hour-long phone call with her convincing me to call her dad to see if he would, come on board with us and like
Yeah.
start doing it. And took some time to work up the courage, not gonna lie, because I wasn't aware of like who they were
Yeah.
at the time because I didn't pay attention to anything. I didn't know a lot.
Right.
Come to find out, he's a legend at Thompson.
Yeah, he's
you know?
won a ton of stuff
Dude.
with Thompson.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
He was
Crushed
one of
it.
the guys. Yep.
So at that point, after I knew that, I'm like, it took a bit to work up the courage to call him to ask him that. And when I did, there was no hesitation. They were like, yeah, let's do it.
Wow.
And it was late in the off season. There was probably like a month or two left until we started racing again. And they come out and changed a ton of stuff on the car and kind of put like a baseline in the car of what they thought I was going to like and what they thought we were going to
All right, so hold on one second now. Let's just appreciate the logistics here. Where do you live?
Woodbury.
He lives in Woodbury. Ernie lives in like Plainville.
Yeah, it's like over
Plainfield.
2 hours
Yeah, Plainfield. Like
Wow.
basically going across the state.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that's nuts.
across the country.
2
I like to
hour
call
ride?
it. Yeah.
So it sounds like he was chomping at the bit to
They
get
still,
going
at that
again.
time, they had the ACT car still.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
Okay,
they
yeah.
had the 9.7.
But they're not really running it, right?
Not full time.
Yeah. So how quick did it seem like you guys felt the difference, like their impact was made? Like, did you go from like having one career win to winning 5 races and see like how quickly did things change? Did you feel an immediate improvement with the car?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, me and Dad kind of got it like the best we could.
Yeah.
With the knowledge we had, which was very little.
Yeah.
And then they came in and it was completely different. And the car was just like night and day different. It was completely different. It
Yeah.
went from being like I'm struggling to like finish in the top 5 to I can finish in the top 5.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so talk to us more about working together with those guys, because you guys obviously were just you and your dad. Those guys kind of came in and just you guys just gelled real quickly.
yeah, I mean, we gelled really quick. Like they
And
Ernie definitely is a very personable person.
very personable
Yeah.
person, and
Yeah.
Junior, you almost have to warm up to, right? I mean,
Well, he's quieter. He's
Yeah.
definally quieter.
but
Yeah.
he's sarcastic as hell too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's right up
But-
my alley.
Yeah, I've known Junior forever. I've known Ernie forever.
Yeah. What have you even talked about like next year? Like I know you said you're not getting rid of the street stock, so like what's 2025 all about? Do you know yet?
not exactly, other than I know we're gonna be running full-time limited late model at Stafford. As far as anything else, I'm not really sure. Maybe opportunities will arise for other cool stuff. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Have you ever raced a streeter at Thompson?
I've never raced a streeter anywhere other than Stafford.
Then really? Wow, that's interesting.
No interest in going anywhere else?
I'd love to go other places. Yeah,
What-
I turned laps at Southern National in North Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, that was really cool. That track is sick.
How do you guys pull off being able to race at Stafford weekly when you live so far away and they race on Fridays?
Well, I'm lucky enough to get the day off on Friday. My boss races too, so he
Oh,
gets
really?
it. So that's pretty.
Who's your
cool.
boss and where's he race?
He races at Bethel.
Oh, okay, New York.
Yeah, and
How long of a ride is it from Stafford to your house?
about an hour and a half.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's same distance as coming to the bowl. Hour and a half there, hour and a half to Stafford. Thompson's a little longer, but
So have you ever thought of like, hey, let's go up to the World Series and run in the street stock race?
I think that'd be really cool. I'd like to, but getting it all together seems to be kind of difficult. You know, we've wanted to before.
Is
but
there a lot of changes that you'd have to make to your car?
I don't think there's a ton of changes, but there's definitely some changes, and it's really close to the end of the year at Stafford.
Yeah.
And if we're going to do something like that, we want to go there knowing we put everything into it. Like, we're going to go there and be competitive.
Yeah.
Or try to, at least.
Yep.
We don't want to go there kind of, you know.
Yeah.
Right. There's no sense
Halfway.
of going.
If you're not going to, right. To
if you're
just
not
drive
going-
around.
right.
Yeah, no, understood. I just think it would be neat there because Ernie's had so much success there. It'd be kind of cool to see, you know.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.